My name is Ann Jacobs, and I'm Manager of Market Development for Region 2 ProMedica Senior Care AL Division for Florida and Texas. I'm excited to share a new best practice from our Fort Myers ProMedica Memory Care team. You will meet our Senior Memory Care Advisor, our Executive Director, and our Resident Services Coordinator, who will share with you a communication tool and team building tool called the Three-Legged Stool. As a result of this best practice, they have regained their 100% occupancy in their community, as well as they have regained their market position as #1, regarding them as the experts in memory care. We encourage all of our ProMedica memory care communities to embrace this best practice. Thank you.
Welcome to Arden Court's Three-Legged Stool. My name is Shalay Cunningham. I'm the Senior Memory Care Advisor and a Certified Dementia Practitioner here at Arden Courts in Fort Myers, Florida.
My name is Natalia Valdez. I'm also a Certified Dementia Practitioner and Executive Director of Arden Courts in Fort Myers.
And my name is Brittany Bennett, and I'm the Resident Services Coordinator at Arden Courts in Fort Myers.
So today you will experience a portion of how we do our three-legged stool here at the community. We have an agenda that we follow. And normally while we're doing this, I am entering the information on the computer. But for time's sake, we're just going to go through the agenda with you. First on the agenda is our census. So we are budgeted to be at 44, but we are actually at 53. We have 44 green residents, 4 yellow residents, and those are our hospice residents, and 4 red residents. One of those reds is a hospice resident. So our new countdown is 3 rooms to 100%. We are also starting our wait list preparation. So currently there are 5 A leads. Natalia and Brittany have assessments scheduled for this week, and we're working on the other 3. We do have a resident joining us on September 13th. That resident will be going into our half-shared female room. And one other thing that we're doing is we're working on bringing our B leads to move forward to A leads and then to get on our wait list. So our next area on the agenda is reviewing our residents on hospice, and Brittany will review this area.
All right, so right now we have a total of 5 residents on hospice, and for timing purposes, I will only review 2 of the residents' current situation. So each week we have a case management review with our local Hope Hospice team. Myself and Natalia, we meet with their team, and having this dedicated time each week keeps us updated, and we have built a cohesive relationship with their team. We support each other. So we have a total of 5 residents on hospice. 1 of them is a red resident. So the first resident I will discuss is resident in room number 28. So she is having a steady decline. She had another seizure at the beginning of this week. We've spoke with the family. They're aware. We're getting our plan together. She has a hospital bed. She's not eating very much anymore. She's taking her meds here and there. Kind of just depends on the day. And she is our red resident. So next resident is in room 8. She is stable, not many changes with her noted this week. She is becoming more difficult to lift and transfer. We have stopped her nutritional shakes. Okay. So the next area we will review are residents who potentially may be eligible for hospice.
So having all 3 of us on the same page when it comes to knowing the information is very essential. It prepares us to know what could change within the next few weeks. So there's, I think, 2 residents that we're going to review with that today. Mm-hmm. So the first resident is in room 13. She recently had some, it was like a mirrored TIA. Mm-hmm. Is there anything else, Brittany, that recently happened?
No. She did get a cold, which she's recovered from. We had the conversation about hospice with her son, but he just wasn't quite there yet. So we did get some therapy involved. She is currently having physical therapy, which the therapist says that she's doing he is seeing improvement. She's doing better.
Good.
And then I think maybe after physical therapy is done, we can reassess and then maybe call the son together and we can maybe, hey, I think it's time.
Yeah, for sure. And the next resident we have is in room 31. She is still declining. She seems to be depressed. We've spoken with her daughter already, but she wanted to have that conversation with their whole family. There is, it's the son-in-law who is a physician in our area. So she just wants to have that conversation with the rest of her family to, you know, make that decision. But I would like to reach out to her again this week and see if, you know, they've had a chance to speak and, and if they've.
So we'll review our schedules and maybe we'll make a time later this week where we can call the daughter. Okay.
For sure.
Excellent.
All right.
So the next area we review are all of our residents who have been here 60 days or under. The purpose of this portion of this is kind of an opportunity to let us get together, really know what's going on with these residents. You know, during this time, I am their guardian angel the first 30 days. After the 30 days, it gives me an opportunity to really figure out who is going to be the best fit for this resident as their guardian angel. And I think one thing that's very, very cool about this opportunity is that I get to not only see who's going to be the best fit, but it may not be a department head. You know, between myself, Brittany, every now and then Shalay, depending on the resident and their family, but I also have my administrative assistant become a guardian angel, as well as our programming department. Both of the assistants in programming are also our guardian angels. And I actually have two residents who are only Spanish speaking. So I have a caregiver who is a Spanish speaker as their guardian angel. So the first resident we're going to talk about is Elsie. They arrived on 7/14. She's doing great. She's on the Bridges program for Hope Hospice. She does see Anima for her psychiatric nurse practitioner for mobile physician services. She's receiving therapy, which is awesome. She was a lunch lady, and I think it's really, really cool to be able to see how well she is doing and how much she loves to talk about that. We had a event when we stuffed the backpacks, and that was her thing. I mean, she was doing so good when it came to packing those backpacks. It was really, really cool to see, and that just makes it so much of a really good experience to talk to her daughters about, saying, look, you know, this was an opportunity for her to really shine, and she did great. And we could not keep up with her when it came to stuffing those backpacks.
No, we couldn't. She was yelling at us.
I know.
Keep it going. Keep
yes,
it going.
Exactly. So in a situation like this, I typically don't have Shalay, our memory care advisor, become the guardian angel. But I think due to the purposes of how close the daughters came to you during the entire process, you know, it wasn't an easy transition for the hospital to get her here. She had to get some therapy at a local skilled nursing facility before coming to us. So I think that would be a really good opportunity for you to be their guardian angel. I think they would appreciate it too.
And they're coming to Memory Cafe.
Good.
And also, I just want to say that because of our meeting that we had here, we were able to help this family
through the whole process.
Through every bit of the process. We actually were able to get her in the skilled nursing. And by both of you continually going to that skilled nursing and rehab facility on a weekly basis, and then our follow-up calls with the families, their faith in the system was regained because they had lost their faith.
Yeah, and it was because of us.
So, absolutely. I'm very proud of us for this one.
Yes, absolutely. So the second resident we're going to talk about, 60 days and under, is resident SS. Came on census as of 7/22, but he arrived on 7/28. This move-in, we've been working since May. You guys know his wife is super emotional.
Yes.
She was having a really, really hard time understanding the disease and the disease progression. He was having behaviors. He's sundowned, and all he wanted to do was, you're out of the house.
And lock the door.
And lock the door, exactly. So it may happen more frequently, but you know, I think we were able to build trust that way, and she felt comfortable moving him here. He's doing great. I mean, so far it's been really, really, he's been doing good. He's been participating in programming. The first visit was tough. She and he got really, both of them were very, very emotional during that visit. But I think afterwards, she felt a little peace knowing how well he was doing, and he bounced back no problem. Didn't have any behaviors after that, which was great. Caregivers were able to redirect him after the visit, which worked out very well. So yeah, I mean, she She was, you guys know, she was the kind of family that was looking for the bright and shiny chandeliers, and it was one of those things that we had to sit and tell her it's not about that. You know, it's about the staff and how much they're committed to it. We, all three of us, know how much we put into that, and she really did have a chance to see how well the staff interacts with other residents and how the residents are doing. So I think it was a win-win for all three of us. So the guardian angel for him is going to be Diane. The reason I chose Diane for this one is because of how much he is willing to participate in programming, and you guys know Diane is a great resource for her when it comes to that. So I'm excited for that relationship to build.
And also Diane, a big kudos to Diane on this, because she actually collected the community food check on this particular resident. And when the wife of this particular resident became very emotional, Diane gave her a hug, sat down with her, and helped her through the process. So big kudos to Diane. She's the fourth leg of our stool.
Yes,
so
she is. Yes, she is.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
So next on our agenda, we review our residents, customer service, protecting the back door, and keeping the back door shut.
So it's the responsibility of operations to keep the back door closed. So Chalet has an opportunity to concentrate on keeping the front door flowing. Knowing what we're doing to protect the back door keeps all of us in the loop. It creates an organized effort for all of the department heads and our associates. So there's a few protocols we currently have in place to keep the back door closed. The first one that we love to do is celebrating anniversaries. Any opportunity we have to send flowers on a good note is what we like to do. So we'll send special gifts to the ladies, typically a bouquet of flowers, and for the gentlemen, we'll try and find something that a hobby of theirs they like to do, and we will send a gift according to that. An example of that would be the railroads. We sent a train set, to a husband that he could put together and keep at his house. He knows it was from us, but before his wife was diagnosed, it was definitely something that she would have done, and so that he really did appreciate that. The second thing we do is open communication. I send a weekly email to all of my families, typically on a Friday, letting them know how the week had gone for the residents, and also any upcoming events. A great example is we have the Hygiene for the Homeless coming up during Assisted Living Week, where they can send in supplies for that, where then our residents will then pack those bags. We also do an extended stand-up once a month. This extended stand-up is all of the department heads. It gives us an opportunity to sit down, go through our normal stand-up more in depth. Typically lasts about 30 to 45 minutes of the extended stand-up. And this gives us an opportunity to really have all of the coordinators understand that we need to look in the sales eyes. It takes every single one of us to be able to really sell a family to come to Arden Courts, and I think by us all being on the same page really gives us that opportunity for all of the coordinators.
Absolutely.
We have a very good communication system with with Hope Hospice. We have weekly case management reviews with them. Natalia and I will meet with them. We discuss our concerns. They'll discuss any concerns they may have. We update their team on any new occurrences that occurred throughout the week with their residents. And together we put together a care plan to discuss with the family. After our weekly case conference meeting, we do all call the family together as a team to give them an update as a team, and the families really appreciate that team approach with them. We also set up monthly meetings with our home health agencies that are seeing residents in the community. We use Trilogy, Madiri Care Tenders, The Roads, Avidity. We review progress with our residents. We ask for referrals and co-marketing opportunities, and all three of us attend those meetings with the home health agencies as well.
So we've added 2 new physician services as options for our families, mobile physician services and Rizzi Psychiatric Care. Both are mobile groups. They offer concierge services and they provide referrals to us, which are adding move-ins to our community.
Absolutely. And having choices for the families is something that is very important to them as well as us. Family and patient choice is a priority to everyone. So we do have these options for them, and they're very appreciative of that. They like to have that freedom of the ability of either to maintain their general practitioner or to utilize the services that we offer here, including our medical director, Dr. Nassif. So we have been meeting with the MPS regional team and their Lee and Collier County team liaisons. Actually, I think we have a meeting with them next week, and we're going to discuss more protocol with them as well as the opportunities to continue to build referrals. We have received referrals from both RISI and from Mobile Physician Services, and we want to continue to grow that relationship with both of them. We are now a part of the ASC expert panel with Mobile Physician Services and several other professionals in the area, and that is allowing us to reach out to the 55 plus communities as well as to the local churches. As a matter of fact, one of the blitzes that I have scheduled for Q4 is, guess where we're going? We're going to church, ladies. So next on our agenda is reviewing our strategic plan for Q3 2021. We have this month to finish out. We have extended a list of our plan to strategically build our census and referral sources. It truly takes an entire team to make this happen. So first, we are meeting with our placement agencies, and we are reviewing referrals with them, what is in their pipeline, and we're continuing to build our relationship with them. We are meeting face-to-face with our placement service agencies. We do this on a quarterly basis. We're having lunch with them, and we are also discussing not only the referrals that they're bringing to our community, but what is actually happening outside in the Lee County community. Knowing what is happening as far as any new communities that they know of that are coming to the area or changes. Sometimes the placement service agencies find out before other people. So they're keeping us in the know. We also work very diligently on our key account management profiles. So our tripod, our three-legged stool, reviews our top 21 referral sources. We have expanded from 10 top referral sources to 21. Together, we plan how we're going to set up the meetings. And part of that is we are making our goal to find out what their goals are and how we can help them reach their goals. If we bring our key accounts to their goals, if we bring those goals to them, they will definitely help us reach our goal and maintain our goal of being committed to keeping our building at 100% occupancy. We will be adding more key account profiles in Q4. So the 21 that we have, we sit down together, and yes, all three of us do a pre-call plan together as to what is the message that we want our key accounts to know. What are we all trying to say to them, and to keep us all on the same page. This way we're delivering a consistent message along with letting them know that we deliver consistent care as the experts in the industry.
So Shalay and I actually split the weekly visits to our sister SNFs, Heartland and Manor Care in Fort Myers. Shalay continues to focus on the physician groups, the concierge physicians, senior services organizations, and the 17 area rehabs. It's important that as the executive director and Brittany as the resident service coordinator that we participate in complete sales calls. The community needs to see us as a team, and I think that's what makes the difference.
Absolutely. It's not just one name that they say with Arden Courts. I've heard people say, Natalia, Shalay, and Brittany's place, or the three ladies over at Arden Courts. So it's building that team and knowing that they can turn to any of us for whatever their needs are. We are there for them. I'm also working in our Q4 strategy plan. And it's a big part of it is not only maintaining and getting back to 100% and building that wait list, but it's also updating the business plan. We know that changes have occurred because of COVID and the current situation in our county. So we have to be creative. We have to think outside of the box of how we are going to have events and be there for our community. We are going to review our home visits that we do, as well as our sales calls. People still are enjoying the opportunities of us meeting face to face, and that makes a big difference. I think everybody got a little zoomed out for a period there. We will still continue our Zoom calls, but we also want to make sure that we're giving that personal touch that our professional referral sources expect from us. Everyone has a role in increasing census and building relationships, and we definitely have a positive synergy by everyone in this entire building. So next on our agenda is financial updates about our residents.
So although we don't have our memory care advisor be involved in this part of operations, it is imperative to know if a current resident is not paying their bill. A great example would be our resident number 42, multiple return checks. That we've had several discussions with the son. We've provided him with Care Patrol's information to maybe see if we can get her into a community that's less monthly. I will reach out to him today. I do plan on giving him a call to find out when hopefully he'll make another payment.
Okay, very good, very good. Knowing this information helps me to plan ahead and keep that person on my radar, possibly to go on a red, and to understand that that room may become available truly at any time with that current situation. So next on the agenda are residents, hospital, rehab, and bed holds.
So we review who is out of the building on a bed hold. If they're in a rehab or in the hospital, we provide the most updated information that we have on the resident. There are also times when a family has taken financial possession and they have not physically moved in yet. Currently, we do not have any bed holds, but to provide an example,
we have a gentleman in room number 2, is at Moffitt in Tampa having surgery. He's actually having his bladder removed. We've spoken to the family. We've had a chance to speak to his physician and our regional team, and we've decided he does need a higher level of care. Family is actually going to come and clear the room this weekend.
Okay. Also, while we're reviewing this information, we discuss who is going to make contact with the hospital or with the rehabilitation center, the social worker, the case manager, the director of nursing. And this is a great opportunity for all three of us to do a sales call, whether all three of us together, two of us, or just one of us. Next on the agenda is sales calls, our outreach for the next 3 weeks. No, we won't go through everything we do in the next 3 weeks because it's pretty extensive. But during this time, we discuss who is going to have sales calls, where they're going, so that we're not overlapping. Or if we both wanted to go, or all three of us wanted to go, we could plan on putting that on our agendas and on our day timers. We set up our appointments, our meetings with area professionals. Each of us has a minimum number of sales calls to complete each week. So in my weekly sales calls and outreach, I'm reaching out to all 17 rehabs and all the hospitals, including 2 behavioral hospitals. And the message of the week that I'm providing to them, for example, for this upcoming week is how we are available 24/7. Continuing to give them the information about our ProMedica and that they're going to be seeing the new brand that's coming very soon. And I know you have some things planned too.
So I'll be at Riverside this week to assess our gentleman over there.
Okay.
I plan on meeting with the director of social services and their case manager when I'm there.
Okay.
I figured while I'm out, I will hit Heartland and Manor Care to meet with their social workers and hopefully get a chance to meet their administrators.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And this week I will be meeting with Dr. Nassif and his nurse practitioner, Stephanie. I also have a meeting set up with Denise from Trilogy Home Health, and of course our weekly meeting with our hospice team.
Awesome.
So as you can see, all three of us do sales calls. You can't just rely on one person to be able to go out to a community to make the impact that is needed to fill the building and to maintain that consistency. We're also rotating our top 30 physicians. By doing this, we do 5 to 7 offices a week, and we're following a pre-call plan. Now, I alone cannot hit 30 physicians' offices in a week, and I appreciate that both of you have taken a couple at a time to reach out to them, giving them the same message that we are putting together in our pre-call plan. And Brittany, thank you for speaking to our medical director, Dr. Nassif, and his nurse practitioner, Stephanie, this coming week. And I have reached out to Dina from Mobile Physician Services, and she is going to meet with us next week Is Tuesday of next week good for both of you?
Yeah, I think that should be good.
Okay, like afternoon appointment, you think?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I will reach out to her and ask her to come in the afternoon to meet with us. This way we can go over protocol, as well as I know that they're starting to get into some more 55 plus communities. So
That's awesome.
time for another referral. Our key account management profiles, setting up the appointments with the top 10 out of the 21. And this is done weekly and bi-weekly. So example, in this scenario, most physicians, we'll have a call with them next week. They're one of our top key account profiles. I am going to be at Park Royal Hospital next week. I have a meeting with Yvonne. We had to postpone the other meeting we had for last week, but I'm going to be meeting with her next week, as well as dividing the week and my weekly visits to the 17 area rehabs. I break those down into 2 different days, and thank you for going to Heartland and Manor Care. So that means I'll have 15.
Yes.
So rotating those 21 key accounts weekly and bi-weekly, it's keeping our name and our face in front of them, and we are getting referrals from doing that.
Definitely. I mean, rotating between all 4 hospitals, I think, is a big thing. Between Park Royal and the behavioral hospital at Riverside, it's something all 3 of us, we do together. I think
Right.
Between Lee County seeing us as the experts and as our tripod, as our 3-legged stool, both myself and Brittany, we schedule the time each week to make sure that these sales calls are completed.
Excellent. So next on the agenda is upcoming events. This section of our 3-legged stool meeting, we discussed events that we'll be attending or hosting over the next 2 to 3 weeks.
So National Assisted Living Week is coming up. It's actually next week. We have a vast array of activities I'm super excited about. We are completing the These Hands project with our residents and our associates. So we have also decided that we're going to complete all of the residents. We'll complete with the frame, the saying on the frame, and then I figured we could give them as gifts during the holidays, for Christmas, for Hanukkah, whatever.
Oh, that's great. I
yeah.
love that idea.
I think it'll be really fun.
And I found some really nice paper
Oh,
for
good.
it. So, and then on September 24th, we will host our monthly Senior Services Luncheon. This is an event for area professionals. It's at a local restaurant where we social distance and we follow all CDC guidelines and protocol. It is a safe environment for our area business partners to network and to be with each other. So many people have reached out to us after these events to thank us for getting back out there, for getting people back to each other, to having those networking opportunities, as well as for building their referral sources. I know ourselves, we've had a few move-ins because of this luncheon, and Brittany, you do a great job when you address them, talking about the protocol that we utilize to keep our residents, our associates and families safe, as well as the story that you told about our one resident. It really got to them.
Yeah.
And it shows that we do more than what they consider for the status quo to be done in a memory care community. So
So the 3 of us attend the meetings each month, and also periodically Diane, our program services coordinator, attends with us. A couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago at the luncheon, she actually spoke about the automated pets that we have here in the community, as well as our ETT program, and they really liked hearing about that.
It was a hit. I
Yes.
mean, everyone wanted to pet the cat.
Yep.
You know, the cat
Pass
was,
them around.
yeah, purring at each person. It was really cool to see.
everybody wanted one.
Yeah.
I mean, we should have done that for a door prize.
Yeah.
But it's really, that event has grown, and I also like the fact that this restaurant closes for us, so we have the entire restaurant.
so big.
Yes, but we have such space, and they do it exactly as we want to. But the owner of that restaurant said that we kept them afloat when COVID was affecting them so much. So we're giving back to the community again. Next on the agenda, we discuss our hot leads, the plan, the home visits. We have to have a plan in place with each and every hot lead. So everyone needs to be on the same page. They need to be aware of our hot leads Together we work to move them forward. And we have a total of 5 hot leads right now. So I'm going to review an example of the information that we share during this portion of our three-legged stool. So our first hot lead is currently receiving services at Riverside Bayfront Behavioral Center. Now I know, Natalia, you went to do the first assessment of him, but the staff felt that he was not at a good place because he had a behavior. Now, this is what they considered the behavior. He couldn't find his wallet. He wanted to know where his car was, and he kept walking around looking for it. It's the disease. So had they really opened up more to you, you could have still said, let me go in and see him. They did do a medication reset for him, and we received a call. The physician feels that he's in a good place now, and Mary would like for you to reach out to her. I thank you for going back again.
Yes.
And I know they have another gentleman there
Okay, good.
for us to see.
I will plan on going by the end of this week, and then Brittany, after the assessment, we can call the wife together.
Okay. She has been texting me every night. She prays that he can come to Arden Courts. She is so very happy that he would have the opportunity, because there's so many men here, and he could enjoy those times with him. So now, also, it's interesting, this referral came to us from several different sources. So one was Rizzi Psychiatric. Another was the Director of Social Services at Riverside. And so I reached out to the Director of Social Services at Riverside, and I wanted to thank her for it. And then I explained to her about the behavioral training that we are giving another behavioral hospital, and now they would like for us to do some training with them.
That's awesome.
So, it's keeping those connections. And I know you're going to go do the assessment tomorrow then, so that'll work out great. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate how you're following up on this for me and reaching out to the wife. It's really going to make a difference in both of their lives. So the next portion of our agenda is weekly first impressions.
So each week, myself and Chalet complete a weekly first impression of the community. We either plan it for Monday or Tuesday morning, typically lasts about an hour. We like to go through the core area, we check our model rooms, we'll spot check some of our resident rooms, just to make sure everything looks good. So for an example, room number 2 needs to be completely repainted. The floors are scheduled to get done this Thursday, so that then it can be set up. For it be move-in ready.
Okay, perfect.
And then we have room number 10. The top of the toilet is cracked, so
Yes.
John's replaced that already for us.
Oh,
this
good.
week. Yep,
Okay,
so that
excellent.
will be ready to go as well. We talked about country. The doors do need to be repainted. Some of those bedroom doors.
Right.
They are going to come and do touch-up paint Monday of next week.
Oh, that's fantastic. So I appreciate that Natalia reviews everything with John, our building services coordinator. This allows me to stay out of operations and to keep the focus on, once that room's ready, I can get someone walking through that door. And it continues to help us build that relationship between all of us. I think that the words come so much better from you than of what we need to have done. And I think it's all in the approach that we do as well, because we approach this as a team. We cannot move someone in unless the rooms are ready to go. And I appreciate how hard John works to get those done. And, when you reach out to the caregivers to give a hand to help out with some different things, and also that the caregivers take the time to put away the new residents' personal items. They know where everything is, and it helps them, or they work with the resident to put things away. That's so nice that they have that first connection. So next on our agenda is it's miscellaneous information. So does anybody have anything they want to share under that?
Yes. So we have orientation scheduled next week.
Right.
So we're going to have a few new associates join us. One thing I appreciate a lot coming from an operations standpoint is that we all take a point to make them feel comfortable during that process. Each one of them sits with them, goes through your part of orientation, and they feel at home. They feel that this isn't just a rushing kind of thing. It takes 3 days.
Yes.
To get them comfortable in their new position. So I appreciate that.
And you know what I love? I love that their first day, that the new associates are with us, that we all sit down and we have lunch with them, and we get to know them on a personal level, and they get to know us on a personal level. And Ashley does a great job with putting together their little gift bags of everything. I love taking them on a tour, and then I talk to them about the 30-second commercial. And then, like, an hour or so later, I'm like, what's your 30-second commercial? And you know what? That last group we had, every single one of them had a 30-second commercial.
That's awesome.
It was an amazing group, an amazing group. So next on our agenda is reviewing best practices.
So it's taken time to build our team. To do this, we needed to practice and implement some of our best practices. First, Chalet, as the memory care advisor, really needs to concentrate on only revenue generating activities. If it's not an IPA, we say no way.
That is right. If it's not income producing activity, So, so together we set the goals. Our team had set a goal of being at 56, and we have 56 rooms in the house, by July 15th, and we reached that goal. So now we've fallen a little bit, only by 3. So we are working to build back to that 100% and to start that wait list. Also, another best practice is the quarterly luncheon with the placement referral services and the weekly follow-up calls to them by phone and keeping in touch. Our monthly senior services luncheon, it's off property in a safe, secure area. And from that senior services luncheon, we have another division of the luncheon called the Ask the Experts Lunch and Learn events, where there are 8 of us, 8 professionals, well, 7 to 8, it depends on where we're going, who are reaching out to area churches and the 55 plus communities, not just educating them about our businesses, but also educating them about topics of interest to them. Caregiver burden, how to put a plan together. And you can't just have one plan, you have to have plan A, B, C, and D, and also to offer them educational materials. They love to receive the educational materials that we bring to them. We differentiate our best practice and our success stories. But what I really appreciate is that we, along the message, we are able to say how we got there. And a big part of that was, to be honest with you, 2 years ago, when you said to me, what do you see? Well, it was over 2 years ago. What do you want? What can we do to make this better? What can we do to cement everything? I said, I feel as though that we need to have a better communication system. I love that we stand up during stand-up and we can get through it in 15 minutes and we keep the flow going, but it's also very welcoming. You know, for everyone to say good morning, hello, it's a great way to start your day. But having this 3-legged stool each week, I feel that I understand more what you go through. I hope you understand more what I go through. I understand more of what you go through. And I think that by this weekend, our success stories are because we sit down and we talk it out and we communicate and we keep that communication flowing. I text more with you two than my entire family. Yeah, so,
same.
And it's building that relationship. I mean, many times we finish each other's sentences. So, and I appreciate you keeping me out of operations as much as possible. We know every once in a while we got to dip our toe in just a little bit. But I appreciate that because it allows me to focus. And by doing so, we're able to continue to keep that flow coming through the front door. So we're all informed, we're all on the same page, and we want to thank all of you for taking the time out of your day to sit with us and learn about our 3-legged stool. We hope you'll be doing it soon in your own community. Thank you. We are now going to continue with the best practice portion of our 3-legged stool weekly meeting. And today we are also going to discuss building that relationship with your placement service agencies, especially those that you have the opportunity to meet with face to face and to work together hand in hand. So, Hello, good afternoon, and welcome today.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you, thank you. I'm Bruce Lopes with Care Patrol of Southwest Florida. I've been in business for about 7.5 years, and we love what we do here. So Arden Courts in Lee County has a very good reputation. They are known for taking on the tough clients that really no one else wants to take. I feel bad sometimes. Unfortunately, that's kind of all we get sometimes. But we're known as doing difficult placements well. Arden is known for taking those difficult clients and either turning them around or at least being able to figure out how to manage behaviors without it being a safety issue. So between the two of us, I think a lot of our referrals just naturally kind of flow towards Arden because of your ability to deal with those difficult clients.
And I appreciate you just being honest with us about it. You know, this is the behavior, this is what's been going on in their life recently, and we're prepared for that.
Yeah, it does us no good really to lie about it. It's not going to be a placement unless everybody is kind of informed and aware. And so the way our system works, we are only paid to do good placements that last. And so it is incentivized to us not only on a moral and ethical level, but also on a financial level that we do placements that are going to last and stick.
Absolutely. And I also appreciate when we give some pushback, whether it be to the case managers or the physicians and the local hospitals and rehab centers, when we say, you need to do this for the patient, you need to do this, and then we will come back and assess. You can't just send this person back home. They don't have it. We appreciate that you stand by us.
Yeah, I mean, we don't necessarily have a choice in the matter. It's a situation where there's not really many more accepting communities, and they all want to do safety first. So I know their bosses at the discharge level don't want to hear that, and I understand that as well. There's an equation there that they need to follow, but this industry has to be more than just numbers.
Right.
Not everybody stabilizes the same way and in the same time frame. So there has to be an understanding. The business office should not always win. In other words, there's got to be a little bit of leeway with that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel that by working together, we're also educating them as to where they need to be and what they need to do next. And I think that that's an upcoming project that we need to work on, is to educate them more.
I think the case managers and social workers know, but they're being pushed from above and below. So education involves two pieces. One is saying it, the other is the other person absorbing it. That's going to be a tough battle, but yeah, we're certainly down to educate people always.
Perfect. So Bruce, I appreciate the fact that you bring your clients that you bring to us are financially qualified. We're not having to go through all of their financials with them. You have all the information ready for us, as well as you have prepared them as to what our cost factors are and the value of the cost factor.
Yeah, that's our job. Our job is to do all that.
Absolutely, and we appreciate it. So I wanted to ask you a question. Do you know how many referrals that you have provided to us since January of this year?
I believe the number's 34.
That is correct. Do you know how many have moved in?
14.
So 41% of the leads that you have sent to us have moved in. And personally, I think that is a fantastic number, and we are so appreciative of you continuing to send us those leads and working hand in hand with us.
Well, we appreciate you all too. Keep on doing what you're doing.
Thank you. And we love our relationship that we've built with you and your entire team.
Appreciate it. Yeah, we enjoy working with Arden. You guys work really hard. You do a good job, and you make the process relatively easy for everyone, which is always nice to have. If you want a better relationship with your Care Patrol office, the first thing that you have to do, in my opinion, is to do good care. You're at a price point that is typically one of the higher ones, at least in this market. There has to be a justification for that for families, even if they can afford it. They have to be getting something for their money. Secondly, reach out to them and try to partner with them. We've done an excellent job here in Lee County of working together with the skills, doctors' offices, and so on and so forth. And, we appreciate partnerships like that. So I always say to our providers, they are our business partners. We don't work for you, but we want to work with you, and that makes a profitable environment for everyone.
One thing in particular that I appreciate is our opportunity to get together each quarter, Bruce. How does your team feel about that?
We always like that, the ability to go out and socialize a little bit and to have a meal with somebody. Quite frankly, even if we didn't have that, we would still probably have the same relationship because you guys do a good job and that always comes first. But, the ability to just kind of in the middle of the day unplug for a little while, let loose a little bit and just kind of relax, not something that we often get to do. So I think everybody kind of looks forward to that.
Absolutely. And we enjoy being with the team. And also, it gives us a chance to catch up what's going on in the community.
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes we learn
know?
something. Sometimes you all do.
Yes.
It's nice to be able to exchange ideas that way sometimes as well.
Right. And it also allows us the opportunity to talk about co-marketing opportunities. And we have one coming up very soon, actually. We are the keynote speaker and the venue sponsor for the Elder Law Boot Camp up in Sanibel. And I want to thank you for agreeing to be a part of our virtual dementia tour as the observer.
Yes.
And I think this also opens up an opportunity for both of us to have some one-on-one time with the nursing home administrators, the guardians, the social workers, the case managers, all of those people who will be at this event that is sponsored by Dorsey Law Firm. So I'm thank you so much for taking an entire day to be with us and observe people as they do a virtual dementia tour with us.
Yeah, it'll be fun. There's always a couple good laughs out of those things.
There are.
It's nice to see people a little vulnerable sometimes, and it's always good to be put in a little bit of an uncomfortable situation there to see how people react, and it gives you an opportunity to kind of react back for that.
Absolutely.
So we enjoy that kind of thing, and it's hard to do nowadays. So we look forward to it a little bit more than maybe we used to, because it's just a little bit harder to find now.
It certainly is. And I know that when people experience the virtual dementia tour, especially the professionals, how shocked they are at truly what that person is going through. And I think that I know you and I have spoken to families about this, and Susie and even Kelly, that if each family could experience that or attend an Arden Courts virtual dementia tour, how different they would feel about why does he do that? Why is she doing that?
Yeah, and even with the professionals, sometimes I feel like they should probably do it every quarter.
Yeah.
I agree.
Just to keep that empathy
Right.
and that whole thing going, is it's very easy to lose sight of some of that sometimes when you're knee deep in it or neck deep in it all the time. But yes, most families have no concept of what this disease is or how people react to it. So and they don't want to.
That's true.
So it does make our jobs more difficult a lot of times because they just don't. They've lived with somebody for 50, 60 years and that's how they were. And now all of a sudden they're different. And it's very, very difficult for them to grasp that. So one of the biggest challenges in our industry, for sure.
Well, I think we have our next education for those above and below at the hospitals and skilled nursing and rehabs. We can bring the virtual dementia tour to them.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to, especially with the environment right now. I've been pushing a lot of them to get their certified dementia practitioners as well.
Absolutely.
And that becomes a bear because it's 8 hours.
Yeah.
And how do we get everybody off shift for all that? So we just did a deal with the Lee County Sheriff's Department to train their jail folks, not all of them, but a lot of their sheriffs, and we're going to figure out how we're going to make that work.
That's amazing.
And then we're going to go back to the hospitals and the skills and say, let's do this the way they're doing it. So education is going to be a big piece of kind of how we go forward, for sure.
Absolutely, and count us in to help with any part of that, Bruce. We definitely want to be a part, especially of educating Lee County. You know that that's a passion of ours. And also, I enjoy being on the Board of Trustees at the Dubin Center with you.
That is always a hoot.
Yes, it is. Bruce is my proxy if I'm not there,
Yeah.
and I'll be his proxy if
Yeah,
he's not at
it's,
a meeting. So,
They did not share with us how much we would be rebuilding.
Okay.
But it's a challenge, and it's fun to see, you know, ideas blossom and grow. And I think it's going to be a really good group for a long time in
Absolutely.
Southwest Florida. That group's going to grow quite a bit.
absolutely. Thanks so much for coming in and sharing with everyone, Bruce. We think it's so important that the other Arden Court communities understand building this relationship and continuing to reach out and to find out what you need from us to be successful and for us to be able to convey to you the same.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a partnership. That's how we look at it, and that's how it's going to be if it's going to work.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Anytime. Thank you.
All right. So another best practice that we often discuss, actually each week during our three-legged stool meeting, is building our relationship with our sister skilled nursing facilities, Heartland and Manor Care. And today we have the lovely Maria Plaxon with us to discuss what we've done to build that relationship and to continue to build that relationship and form a bond with the three of us all together. So thank you for coming today.
You're welcome. So my name is Maria Plaxon. I'm the Business Development Specialist with ProMedica for the Heartland and Manor Care Fort Myers buildings. I've been in this role for almost 4 years now. And my role has changed, obviously, over the last year and a half, but our relationship has not in terms of our communication. I mean, I think that is the key, is to continue to communicate and to my goal is to be an advocate for Arden in the buildings with social services regarding the continuum of care and communicating to the families that we do have this sister facility who provides memory care and allowing you to follow up. And that's a work in progress, but that is something that is
And we
at the
appreciate that. We absolutely appreciate that. We have been able to reach out to the families that are moving their loved ones in and tell them about our ProMedica family here in Fort Myers. And truly, they appreciate that. They know that if their loved one had to go to the hospital and then needed to go to rehab, that having our sister facility be able to take that resident and we can go and check that resident, even bring that resident a meal. It means a lot to the families. And to be honest with you, as we're talking, we often say to them, where would you like them to go, Heartland or Manor Care? And we encourage them that if they are able to see the community or tour, to go and check it out, because honestly, the Thalia unit,
It's amazing.
it's amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. And the staff there, they're wonderful. And the nursing staff that work with them. I went to walk through it and also wanted to see the physical therapy and some of the other services. And, you know, one of the cutest little residents, she's like, do you need a sweater? And she's trying to give me a sweater. And it was nice how the caregivers seem to have that extra layer of education that we have here in our community. It seems that they also have that extra layer of education. They knew how to redirect her without correcting her and to get down and speak to her. And I'm very proud of that with our sister facilities.
And the therapy, and we brought up therapy, I think that is something that we stand out in the community because our therapists have also had that extra training. We've had facilities, even some of the Lee facilities, who refer to us for the memory patient who has not been successful with their therapy and they can't go home, but they come to us, and because they know how to approach the resident, they get much better, more success, and they're able to actually go back to their prior living arrangement, be it with you or in another facility. I think that's so important with therapy. I mean, you can't approach that resident the way you would someone who doesn't have dementia. So,
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I think that we need to educate our teams about this. And I know you and I have discussed this many times. We need to do like a round robin with them, bring the Heartland team to Arden Courts, bring the Manor Care team here, and for us to go there and to truly understand what they need. We appreciate going to the weekly meetings. We understand currently it's not an option, but we look forward to that. And I know you've been working on some different opportunities for us to get together. And what are those opportunities?
Well, I hoping that next week you and I can actually go together to the Lehigh, because I actually had to change the schedule, and bring lunch to many of the staff there, and there'll be
Yes.
opportunity for you to get in front of their case managers, because we
Absolutely.
haven't really been able to do that. So they actually invited and asked us to. I
Nice.
helped them a lot, and they were grateful. And I asked if I could include you because you are sister community and provide memory care, and they were really open to that. So
Excellent.
those are kind of things I think that we've been able to do, partnering, especially with the hospitals,
Yes.
because we're getting referrals from the hospitals,
Yeah.
50 a day. But that's an opportunity for you to get in front of them so that they know you're an option if SNF
Absolutely.
is not an option.
We appreciate you thinking about us.
We
Oh,
do.
You're welcome. I try. And when we have our RDT meetings, which is a referral development team meeting, includes a lot of the disciplines in the facility and regional staff. We do invite you. We have not had one, so you haven't been missed. We just haven't had a meeting.
Right.
But the
right.
next one you have, you will be there. And
Excellent.
we plan quarter by quarter what our events will be, how we can reach out to community. Again, because of COVID, things have changed. We've been limited to what we can do, but you and I have continued even through this. We went to that event together. I try to attend your lunches that you have, which I
Right.
appreciate, and I know you get a great turnout. So I think, given the present climate, our continued communication and just trying to help each other
Yeah,
is the best that we can do.
I agree.
Absolutely. Is there anything that you can think of, Maria, that we can do to help educate the Heartland and Manor Care teams in a more effective manner?
I know that my director probably will invite you to be meeting with him, with the administrators, one-on-one, so that we can educate them, and it'll trickle down to the rest of the staff, or especially to social services, again, about the continuity of care, and that anyone who has a dementia diagnosis, they may not need memory care today or tomorrow when they're discharged, but they may down the road. And for you to develop that relationship early on, check in with them month by month, that's a service we're providing to them. And I think that's where the education piece comes. We're not trying to, we're not going to harass them. We're offering them a service. We're offering them some support, a resource.
Absolutely.
And that's the shift that needs to come in terms of it. And even if they think they can't afford you, let's just call it what it is. You have options. You have things that you can do to try to work within their budget in a better way. You know of services and resources through the VA, through the PACE program, through the waiver, all the other programs that are out there that they're not as aware of, that you can help them with. So
Right.
those are the things I'd like to see trickle down when we do have these meetings one-on-one, and that will be coming.
Excellent. And we'd also like to offer virtual dementia tours to all of their associates. I think that once that they experience that, they'll have a better idea of also how to handle behaviors. We've been asked recently to do behavioral training at the behavioral hospital, and we would like to, of course, be able to provide that service to our own sister facilities. So we appreciate you, and we also want to thank you because recently the hospital liaison provided us with a referral and met with the son. And when I saw his area code, I said, "Oh, are you from upstate New York?" And he said, "Well, yes, I am." And we started talking, and we made a great connection. And he paid a huge compliment to Joe Alice. Number one, that even after Mom was out of the hospital, and that was his initial connection with her, and she went to Heartland, and everything was being done for her, he felt more relaxed because he knew he could always reach out to her. And I think that speaks volumes about our organization in a whole, that the families and our referral sources, everybody knows that they can reach out to us at all times.
We're
So
accessible.
we are accessible,
Mhm.
and we educate them. So he's very happy that she's here, and so are we.
That's
So
wonderful,
we
and I will
appreciate
pass
it.
that on to Joalice later today.
Absolutely.
She'll be grateful. She was very happy that she could make that connection, knowing it would benefit.
Absolutely. And we're very pleased also to add that since January, do you know how many referrals we've sent to Heartland and Manor Care?
I don't, but I know it's a lot.
Yes. So between January and August, we've sent 36 referrals.
That's wonderful.
Yes. Some were our residents,
Yeah.
and it went very well. And to be honest with you, some of them were families that we would meet with someone and they were just too high a level of care, or they were in a scenario where they were at the hospital and they needed to go to skilled, but they weren't able to get the information from people, because we all know that case management and social services has really had, since COVID, has had some difficult times. And we want to be there. And I think that as an organization, we are there for them.
Oh, and that's wonderful. Thank you. I hope that the next
Yes.
time that we go over the numbers, I can say we've sent that many to you.
Yes, yeah. Oh, we'll take it.
I
We'll
will
take
make
it.
that my goal.
Yes.
Yes, and I know you wanted to go over how we work together with our
Yes.
bed hold policy.
Yes. So our bed hold policy is a company-wide policy where when a resident from an Arden Courts goes to the hospital or to a Manor Care or to Heartland, that as the memory care advisor, Chalet would bring the service plan to them within a 24-hour period. So those nurses, those case managers, all are aware of what's been happening for the resident here at Arden Courts. And when that happens, Chalet is enabled to communicate that with you in the event that they need to go to a skilled nursing. Heartland and Manor Care are there for them.
Right.
So it's a continuum of care that way as well, and it keeps all of us informed.
That's excellent. I didn't even
And
know
especially when if they're going to Gulf Coast, we also have an extra file there for Joalice, because we want to make sure that she has that information, not just whether it be the fourth floor or whatever floor that they have them on, that nursing station has that information or that case manager does. So, and we text
Yes,
constantly.
and we'll keep-
and
yes,
we keep
absolutely.
doing
Yes,
that
yes.
between the emails and the texting. But I think it's important that, not everybody recognizes the bed hold policy, and I think it's something that has truly been successful for all of us in
Yes.
one way or another.
Yes, it keeps
So-
us all informed, and once that resident or patient is ready to go, either to Manor Care or come back to us, it gives me and Brittany an opportunity to go to assess and keep us all in the loop on how that person's doing.
Absolutely.
And there's one other area. I know that we shared business plans.
Mhm.
And I can't believe it's that time of year. It's going to be starting soon, but I love the opportunities that we can sit down and go over business plans together and plan events together. And, really to have that full circle of service is so important, and that bouncing the ideas off each other also really
Yeah.
helps to, to come up with something new and exciting.
Mhm.
So,
And we understand that your budget isn't always the best,
right.
Yeah.
but ours is, so we
Yes.
can help you.
I appreciate that.
I don't know why everybody thinks marketing's budget is
Well,
always
and
the best.
I think it reflects very well in the community that we
Right.
support each other. People see
Yes.
that, and that we support each other. It speaks a lot, not only
Yeah.
for the company, but for us professionally. So
Yes, and presenting together, I think, is a big thing too. You're showing
Right.
continuum of care, having all of us present during an event for the
Mhm.
community. So
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, we are involved with a program where we are the keynote speakers, and we are also the venue sponsors. And it's going to be in Sanibel at the Marriott. I believe we had discussed it before, but then it was canceled
right.
due to COVID. It's the Elder Law Boot Camp. So it's all the nursing home administrators, case managers, guardians. If you'd like to be a part of it, we're going to be up there. We're actually going to be doing dual virtual dementia tours while we are there. And we'll have the booth, and we'll have all of our ProMedica information, just like we did at Southwest Florida Case Manager Expo. So we'd love to have you there, and I'll
When
send
is
you.
that?
It is Friday the 15th
yes,
of October.
it's around the corner.
Okay. I should think we can. I'm actually on vacation starting the 16th, but I think I can
Ooh,
squeeze it
There
in.
you go.
Good.
There you go.
That'll be fun.
So
It'll be no. I love being part of that. Any opportunity to give me to be part of that with you. I want to show our support, and you let me know what I can do and bring, and definitely
all right.
I'll let them know now so that they cover for me.
There you go. So this is another best practice that we have here in Fort Myers. It's working with our sister skilled nursing facilities, the business developmental specialist, the hospital liaisons. If you haven't had the opportunity to make those connections, to have those meetings, reach out. Reach out to your closest Heartland and Manor Care. Reach out to the business developmental specialist and make that connection. Thanks so much.